feel like we put the word alignment on a pedestal and we think of it like I need to be like a Buddhist monk to be in alignment. But alignment for me is being in flow, having your energy in flow. Welcome to Curiosity Didn't Kill Podcast, your place for crystals, transformative energies, and bridging the gap between science and magic. I'm your hostess with the mostest, AshBae, your intuitive hype woman and magical mentor. It's my mission to help you discover your badass, unlock your power, and embrace your unique energy. Let's fall down the rabbit hole. Hey, what's up, you guys? What's up? This is episode 2. Welcome back, or welcome if you're brand new to the podcast. I'm your host, AshBae, crystal energy worker and educator. And today I am bringing you crystals. Why crystals? Why did I choose to work with crystals as my mode of energy work? Well, first of all, why the F not? They are just super gorgeous. They're the coolest thing. I get lost in them every single time. If you know, you know, because you can just look at them and they're so unique and not one is like the other. So if you're telling me I can have sparkly rocks, stones, and they help my energy, my well-being, my mental health, my physical, my enlightenment, my alignment, everything in my life, then of course I'm so freaking down for that. But then some people are like, well, how do you know it really does this stuff? I'm like, okay, look, first of all, even if you're like not a believer, just try it, because like they're amazing decor pieces. They're so pretty. And then why not? Like if there's a little bit of a chance that a stone can help you get into alignment, help you bring in your manifestations, help you get aligned, why the flip would you not give it a go? Right? But let me break it down for you guys and we'll kind of get into the nitty gritty, the science. We'll put our, glasses on. And I'll tell you kind of like some backstory. So I've been into crystals and rocks, stones since I was a kid. Like I remember having this crystal set that came with a book. I think I got it from like a science fair in elementary school, and I thought it was the coolest fucking thing. I loved it. I would play with it all the time. And then my family, we would go up to the mountains in California, Mammoth Mountain, if you know, you know. And just you'd go on a hike and you find so many cool things. It's such a rich environment. So we just go on a hike and look on the ground like, ooh, look at this one. Ooh, look at this one. And I would just build a little collection, take them home. I guess we'll just dive into kind of like my background. If you know me, then you've probably heard these stories. But if you're new, hello, welcome. So as a child, I've always known that I was like different. Like I didn't know like names for things. So like to give you an example, as a child, I would scry in the bathtub at bath time, not even knowing what the hell that is and how it works. But somehow my little child brain was doing it. And I was like, ooh, like this is fun. I don't know. I don't even know how I thought to do that. But so stuff like that. And then, I would see, spirits, and I've seen and heard some crazy shit as a kid. So I always knew that I was just a little different. And I've had, if you've heard of the clairs, I've always had the clair of just knowing, just always knowing. Like I would just know, like, when my mom would get home from the day, but she like hadn't even pulled into the driveway yet. I'm like, oh, she's here. Mom's home. My grandma would be like, what are you talking about? And then, a few seconds later, here she is. So just like stuff like that. Like I always knew I was a little different, but fast forward, long story short, you start going to school, you're in high school, and that stuff's not talked about. It's not normal. It's not normalized. So it got suppressed, pushed down, and I didn't do anything with it. I was just like, oh, it's some weird, crazy stories to tell around the campfire, I guess. But, nothing came from it. And then it wasn't until I don't know. I was in my like 20s, and not that that was that long ago, making it sound like that was forever ago. And just shit was not going my way. Like I lost my job, and I just couldn't find another one, and then it just really took a toll on like my mental, and just it sucked. So I stumbled upon manifestation, and I was like, well, what do I have to lose? Absolutely nothing. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to dive into it 110%, see what the fuck happens. And lo and behold, at the time, I didn't know a damn thing about manifestation. This was totally new to me. But stuff started changing for the better. Like I just did everything in my power to like follow I like researched it, like YouTube and Google and all the things. I tried to find all the info I could about it. So as I'm doing this practice, like things start changing for the better. So I'm like, holy shit, like I don't have a name for this other than like what it's being called, like manifestation. But it's like, I can't even explain it. It's not something necessarily like outside of a law of attraction that I can scientifically tell you and give you an explanation. But anyway, so it started to work. Stuff started to change for the better. So I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to keep going. I'm doing this, and we'll just see where it goes. I'm on the ride. I'm on this train. 0 to 100. And then I stumble upon soul contracts. And if you know me, if you follow Curiosity Didn't Kill, you know that I do soul contract work. And the reason I do soul contract work is because of this moment. I stumbled upon soul contracts, and I had mine done, had mine read. Someone did a soul contract for me. And I was like, holy fucking shit. So if you don't know, a soul contract goes through your karmas in life, your karmas in this life that you have to overcome. Excuse me, and the talents that you possess in this life to overcome those karmas, and then the goals that you should be pursuing using those talents, as you're overcoming these karmas in this life, which ultimately lead you to your soul destiny. And your soul destiny is what your soul at its core really, really wants to achieve, whether you do achieve it in this life or you achieve it over multiple lifetimes. It's the essence of what it craves and what it wants to do. So my soul contract stated that I'm to be the teacher of teachers. And there's more into it, but that's kind of just like the gist. And I just fucking wanted to like shit and vomit at the same time. I was like, what? You want me to be a teacher of teachers? What does that mean, and how? And that sounds like so much responsibility. I don't know that I'm cut out for that. Like at the time, I was a totally different person at this time, by the way. Like I'm not, if you know me now and you didn't know me then, yeah, I was a totally different person. I was just, it did not seem like I fit the bill. So I was like, I don't know about that, fam. Maybe we'll take a look at it again. Did you run that correctly? So anyway, but everything else in it, like my karmas, the talents, etc., goals, was so on point, so on key. It just explained a lot of things. It validated a lot of things. So I was like, okay, there's also something to this. There's also something to soul contracts. And everyone needs to know how to be able to access this information. So that's what sparked me and my drive and my passion for soul contracts. I was like, I need to learn how to do this. I need to learn how to decipher someone's soul contract so they have access to this information. So that's what I did, and that's what I do. That's one of the things that I offer. And then I started to use that as like my map, my blueprint, like where I was going, things that I should be working on, like my karmas. And then stuff again just started to unfold, started to change. I started, I became a Reiki practitioner, which it was another thing that just opened so many doors, mentally and actually. And then crystals came back into my life. Like I felt like I did a total 360, came back to crystals, and it just felt like home. Like I was saying, I've always loved them, but I've never done anything with them. And then I started to build my collection again, bigger stuff, prettier stuff. And I was just like, I'm obsessed. I'm in it. This feels amazing. And now that I've done this other spiritual work, I've had like the soul contract done. I've been working on my karmas. And now that I'm like into the Reiki, I feel like that stuff had unlocked, I don't know, like, how do I explain this? It's almost like it unlocked this magical door in my mind, in my brain, I don't know, in my energy field. And unlocking those led me to like a deeper connection into crystals and stones. So now that I'm again working with the crystals and stones at this point, I feel like it's a different feeling. It's a different connection that I have to them. It's almost like they speak to me. So like just holding one, being in the presence of one, it's a feeling. And if you know, like, I don't really know how to explain it. It's one of those things that you just have to experience for yourself. Yeah. And then I started like diving into, okay, so what are these feelings? What do they do? I try to look for another connection, another validation behind what I was experiencing. And then learning more and more about the different uses and how you can use crystals and how crystals can help you in your Reiki practice. So I was like, hello, if crystals are just another tool that I can use with my energy practice, hell yeah. Like I said, they're amazingly gorgeous, and to learn that they're so powerful was a game changer. So I feel like the rest is history. I started to work with crystals, and now that's my main mode of energy work, is with crystals. And I feel like people ask me a lot of the time, like, this is one of the number one questions I get asked is like, okay, hey, I'm new to crystals and I've done some research on a few. Here's my top 3 favorites. Those are awesome. How do I work with these crystals? Because these are my favorite. And I like to tell people, okay, that's awesome. That's cool. And I like totally applaud your research and your like tenacity for wanting to know more, but like, let's pump the brakes for 5 seconds. So with all of this stuff, your intuition is going to be so huge, so huge. And your intuition is a muscle, essentially. And you have to flex it. You have to grow it. So the more you flex that intuition muscle, the more it's going to grow, and the easier it will be for you to follow your intuition. And I say to people that you really need to follow and use discernment and use your intuition when you're working with crystals, because that's how crystals speak to us. Like I was telling you earlier, how I felt that the crystals were speaking to me, and I was picking up these feelings that I was getting from these crystals. They were giving off like different feelings depending on which ones I was working with. And that's because, so crystals all have energy, and this is not made up. This is totally scientific. Like, it's fact. We can measure crystals' energy. It's called piezoelectricity. And clear quartz vibrates at the highest frequency. It's just the strongest. And then each crystal has its own level of frequency. Some are a little bit lower, some are a little bit higher. So that's why they do different things, and they can help us with different aspects of our energy. So we're not taught in like school that we can pick up on these energies. Like, it's just kind of not normalized. So that's where I tell you to kind of like, don't research them. If you're new to crystals, don't be like, ooh, what does amethyst do? Or what does sodalite do? Like, just, if you're going looking for crystals, go in with an open mind, clear mind, no expectation, and then simply just see what you're attracted to, what calls to you, what pulls you in. Like, you don't even have to know what the crystal does or even the name of it. Just what calls to you. And that's because everything is energy, and everything has a frequency. So if each crystal has a frequency, right? And then our own bodies, our own energy fields have its own frequency as well. So the crystal's frequency will never change. It's always going to have that frequency. But our bodies, our frequencies as human beings do change. And they change based off of our moods and our state, like what's going on. So when I talk about managing your energy, that's why. So when we come into contact with someone who has some low vibes, we're going to pick up on those low vibes, and it alters our energy. It might bring our energy down, or that's why I say when talking about managing your energy, try to walk through certain situations with grace versus being triggered and then now carrying lower vibrations with you throughout your day. Yeah, just everything affects our energy and our frequencies. So, wherever you're at, good or bad, you have a certain frequency in your body. And then when you walk into a crystal shop and you see a bunch of crystals, your frequency is going to match with certain crystals. And the analogy or metaphor I like to use with this is like, think of it like computers, right? So the crystals is one end of the computer, your body is another end, and it's sending messages to each other back and forth. They're communicating. Your frequencies are interacting with the crystal's frequencies. We're not taught to just pick up on this and be like, ooh, hey, like they're talking to each other. So your intuition and simply you just being attracted to a crystal, feeling like you're kind of like pulled into it, like you're just mesmerized it maybe. You're like, ooh, like look at it. It just looks gemmy and delicious and gorgeous. And you're just something about it that je ne sais quoi about the crystal. You're just like, ooh, I gotta have it. That right there is the crystal, the frequencies communicating with you. So use your intuition. If you're drawn into the crystal, go for it. You don't have to know what it is. You don't have to know what it does. And just lean into it and feel the feelings. Get into your feelings. Get out of your head. Don't think about it. Turn the brain off. I know it's easier said than done. But turn the brain off and just see how it feels, Because more often than not, that crystal that's pulling you in is the crystal for you and the crystal that you should be working with. And I always tell people, here's a Harry Potter reference for you, my Potterheads. The crystal chooses the user. Say it back. The crystal chooses the user. Mr. Potter. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope that helps. But yeah, so that's why I personally love crystals, work with crystals, and even if you're not a believer, seeing the interactions between crystals and people is always magical because when I'm in the shop and we're doing events and stuff, people are always drawn to the things that they need because then they'll be like, ooh, look at this one. I love it. And they'll be like, this one's kind of a weird color. It looks kind of odd. I'm not usually attracted to this color. I don't even like this color, but there's something about this crystal. And they're like, tell me about it. What does it do? So I'll tell them about it. And they're like, oh, holy shit. Like, that's crazy because I feel like this is going on with my life. And I feel like I could really use and benefit from these energies. And I'm like, yeah. The crystal's talking to you. There's a reason for that. So that's why I absolutely love crystals. It's not just a rock. It's not just, a pretty stone. There are actual energies, frequencies within them that they emit that interact with us. And there's just so much that we don't even know and understand. I feel like we're just on the cusp of scientifically validating. But a quote that I absolutely love regarding this from Nikola Tesla said, if you wish to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, so crystals help with my Reiki practice. And if you don't know what Reiki is, it's the movement of energy within the body. We have energy circles, energy fields within our body, energy centers that hold a lot of energy, emit a lot of energy, but also energy can get stuck within them. So I use crystals personally to help, as a tool to help move this energy. And you don't even need crystals for doing this stuff, but I like to also use the example of you could use a screwdriver for a tool, or you could use a power drill for a tool. Like, one's going to get you there faster than the other. And the crystals are that power tool. It's just going to help you move energy and get stuff going for you. And I also love to use them in my alignment practice. So I guess this could be a totally whole nother podcast episode about alignment, but I guess we'll just real quickly, the basics of it here. I feel like we put the word alignment on a pedestal and we think of it like I need to be like a Buddhist monk to be in alignment. But alignment for me is being in flow, having your energy in flow. I use crystals, my essential crystals, clear quartz, black tourmaline, selenite, and obsidian. Those are like the essentials must have in your toolkit, and then learning how to use those, at least those 5 crystals inside and out, is an absolute game changer. And I use those guys in my everyday alignment practice. And then when you're aligned, meaning just like in flow, your energy's in flow. So like putting yourself first, your energy's in check, you're doing your like energy maintenance, your energy audits. Check out episode 1. I talked about like energy audits and managing energy if you haven't heard that one yet. To help you just to get into alignment, and then practice this every day to help you get into alignment. And then once you're in alignment, again, that just means our energy is flowing. We don't have stuck energy. So stuck energy can appear as like tiredness, frustration, aggravation. All kinds of negative feelings. Stuck energy can appear in many different ways. But when you're just flowing, like you're moving and you're grooving and you feel good and you just feel ultimately grateful, you have true, genuine gratitude and just love, your heart is open. That I feel like, again, when your energy is just moving, grooving, in flow, that's alignment, right? And then we bring our alignment practice with us every day, and we practice. It's practice. It's an alignment practice. There's not perfection. You don't have to be the people on the commercials, like on the yoga mat, in the forest, sipping yogi tea in your Lululemon leggings. That does not have to be what that looks like whatsoever. But if that's also you, that's cool too. Do you, whatever floats your boat. So yeah, I think we overthink alignment, but crystals really help me. Those 5 crystals essentially help me in my alignment practice every day. And then when I'm alignment, I can do anything, like literally anything. Like I feel like limitless, really. Like anything can be done. I can get all my work done in only a few hours. I don't feel like I have to overwork myself. I feel like I have the energy to get shit done around the house, and I'm just like moving, I'm grooving, I'm bopping. I'm like, hell yeah. Well, maybe we'll vacuum, maybe we'll do some dishes, like bop bop bop. Yeah, maybe we'll do some yoga, we'll go to yoga class. Like everything's flowing. So with that, if you're trying to do additional energy work, like say you're trying to like manifest, you're trying to bring something into your life. Maybe you want more money. Maybe you want a different job. Maybe you're doing like fertility energy work, whatever it is. Like when you're in a state of alignment, you can do anything, literally. You can do all those things. You can manifest easier. You can bring in anything that you're trying to call into your life. Any kind of energy work it just flows, When you're in flow, things flow to you. If you're familiar, then you know. But if not, sound healing has different frequencies, similar to crystals. So the sounds, different frequencies of sound, connects with our bodies and manipulates our energy to do and feel different ways. So a quick snippet, like a quick experiment you could do is take clear quartz or selenite and put it to your chest, put it over your heart, and then find like your favorite song, whatever you're jamming to right now. Put it on, and I want you to turn the volume up or put your earbuds in, whatever, and just jam to it. And you will just feel a different feeling of like if you would have not done this listen to this song without crystals. So it's totally a different vibe when you listen to it with the crystal to your chest. So you're feeling the sound, the song's energy, and then that's the crystal is being a conduit of energy into your body. It's a total game changer, different amplification. So I welcome you to try that. Do it with your favorite song. It's a fun little thing that I like to do. And if you're using clear quartz, you can also do this in the water. Water is another a great, powerful conduit of energy if you're taking a shower or if you have like a pool. But FYI, don't do it with selenite. Selenite shouldn't be in water. Just PSA. So yeah, give those a go. It's a fun little experiment, but there's tons of other modes of energy work that you could do, like sound healing. It doesn't have to be crystals, but that's why I absolutely love crystals. They're so powerful, and they're an amazing, gorgeous, powerful tool. So yeah, we're actually diving in a little bit deeper to this topic later this week on Thursday. It'll be live in our Facebook group. We're doing a free, absolutely free workshop on manifestation versus alignment. So bring your questions, bring your curiosities on manifestation, on alignment. How do we get aligned? How do we manifest? What does alignment mean to you? What does manifestation mean to you? All of the things. We're diving in, diving in the deep end, getting questions, getting curious. Do you like my song? It's an original. So yeah, join us this Thursday. It'll be 7 p.m. Central Time. If you can't catch it live, there will be a replay. We will have notes that we've done for you. If you would like those free notes, message us on Facebook or email us. All of the info is down in the show notes. And we will shoot those over to you. Just drop us your email and we'll send those on over. So that way you can follow along, jot down your notes. And yeah, we'll learn the difference between manifestation and alignment and all things manifestation and alignment this Thursday live in our Facebook group. And if you haven't already, you guys, make sure to sign up for our crystal course. That goes live here soon, depending on where you are. It's live in Gilbertsville at the end of this month on June 26th. And then it's live for everybody on the internet, on Facebook, starting July 17th. Yeah, so follow us on Facebook. Sign up for the course if you haven't already, and we'll see you on Thursday for the free workshop. And until then, guys, I will catch you later. Have a good one. Goodbye.